Hey, what's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate Tool Reviews. Check this out. We got Metabo HPT's all-new drill here. This is their hammer drill. This is going to be the DV18DC. As far as I'm aware, at the time of reviewing this, I don't see a kit for this drill out just yet. It's going to be tool only as far as I can tell. I'm sure they'll come out with a kit on this drill here pretty soon. But the interesting thing about this drill is it kind of is a weird drill. I actually expect this one to be a 36-volt drill and to kind of be the replacement for the rather large DV36DA, which this is a pretty impressive drill, very big, very heavy, but very cool. But it's more of a replacement for the DV18DB FL2. I wish they made these model numbers a little bit easier on these drills. So it kind of looks like the more top-end 36-volt drill here, but it's kind of more slotted towards the upper mid-range there. So a lot of these Metabo HPT drills are relatively affordable. This thing's like $120. I'd say wait until it goes on sale, of course, like all Metabo HPT stuff always does. But I will say the one issue with Metabo HPT drills that I've noticed on a lot of these drills, say for their subcompact drills, is that they are rather heavy. So let's throw these things on a scale and see how much they weigh. All right, starting off with a more subcompact choice here. We've got the DS18DDX, pretty much one of my favorite drills out right now by Metabo HPT. Super light, super cheap, and very affordable. We are 2 pounds, 11.6 ounces here. Very light drill there. Moving up to the all-new, which I would say it's a subcompact drill, but it's dressed up to look like more a mid-range, upper-level drill here. This is the DS18DEX. Only thing about this drill is that it's rather loud, especially compared to a lot of competitors, coming in at 3 pounds, 6.7 ounces. And I'm running the standard 2.0 batteries with the new fuel gauge on all these tools. It's pretty much the standard battery to use for a lot of Metabo HPT stuff. All right, let's check out the older hammer drill here. This thing is an absolute workhorse. Use this thing a ton. That's the DV18DFL2. Coming in at 3 pounds, 11.6 ounces. All right, let's go over to the all-new DV18DC, see how much this thing weighs. We are 4 pounds, 11.2 ounces, so pretty much almost a full pound heavier than the outgoing version. Now, of course, this one's going to weigh quite a bit because you have to use a 36-volt battery on this, the DV36DA. Which I always thought this thing was rather heavy for what it is, but 5 pounds, 3.5 ounces, it's barely heavier than the new Metabo drill here, with of course a larger battery on it too, which is pretty interesting to see that just how heavy these drills can actually be. Not that being heavy is necessarily a bad thing to be. Of course you want all metal gearing inside, you want a metal chuck, which this does have, of course. So you really want to have a balance between quality while also having ergonomics and lightweight use on these drills. All right, when we compare length of these drills, let's see here. Who's longer? The 36 volt. Yep, 36 volts, just about a half-inch longer there. All right, moving over to the older DF18DBFL2 versus the new hammer drill here, ever so slightly about a 1/4 inch longer there. And then, of course, these are basically subcompacts, so you can see, almost a full, pretty much almost more than a full inch difference here in length. And of course, the actual subcompact is pretty much a full inch difference here in length. Now, before we get on to some testing here, I want to bring out the RFC, or reactive force control. This is a great safety feature. If you're doing something with like a hole saw, you're drilling into something larger and the bit grabs, this thing will actually stop the drill and prevent you from, ripping your, whatever you're ripping out, ripping your arm off, or breaking your wrist. This can happen. I have had this happen with this drill, actually drilling in a client's home. I had it actually snap out of my hand when the drill bit caught. Was not a fun time, but luckily it did land on my drop cloth, which is pretty thick, and did not do any damage. So RFC, definitely worth having. It's in some of the higher end drills here, especially the multi-volt stuff has it, but a lot of the older drills do not have it. The newer drill here definitely has it. That is the 18DEX. Has that reactive force control. That is something to definitely watch out for, and definitely make sure you get that in a drill. It definitely comes in handy. All right, we're gonna go from smallest to largest here. Now, this is not a hammer drill, but I wanted to include it in the test anyways, just to kind of show you guys what a non-hammer drill can do versus some of the bigger drills here. And this thing is super affordable. It's been on Amazon now for about $97 with an impact and 2 batteries and in a kit. So it's easily the most affordable drill out of all 4 of these, and probably one of the best deals out there. It is definitely a really good choice, but of course, not a hammer drill. Let's give this thing a shot. Now that was really, really quick for not being a hammer drill. This thing does an absolutely amazing job. And of course, I'm running all of these in their high speed mode, not the low speed mode. All right, our first hammer drill up is going to be the DV18DC FL2. Of course, the older hammer drill from Metabo HPT. This thing's always been a great drill to me, one of my favorite drills. Let's see how well it does in hammer drill mode on the highest speed. Definitely feels quick and powerful. All right, now time for the all-new DV18DC. Very snappy there. And finally, let's give the multi-volt one a try, the DV36DA. Ooh, that one easily felt the fastest and the most torque there. All right, now I want to do a little bit more of a subjective test here. I'm just going to put in some regular drywall screws here. Not a power test by any means, but more of like a comfort and ergonomic test, because this is kind of relative to what you're going to be using these drills for every single day here. So let's put a few screws in, see how it does, and see how well it feels in the hand. So you can always tell, if you're using like a drill like this and you're throwing in screws, by how much you can kind of hear that motor bog down. The new 18DX is absolutely phenomenal. I reviewed this thing last year, and I pretty much said that in the kit with the impact, this is probably the best drill and impact kit you can buy right now. All right, the tried and true DF18DBFL2. This thing is a bit bigger, kind of rides the line between, a hammer drill and a regular drill. It's not like it's a super compact, nor is it super powerful for being a hammer drill, so it can kind of do the best of both worlds. I just feel like the RPM on this thing is not as high as some of the other drills that I've tried. This isn't high. Here's low. Definitely feels a bit slower than a lot of other drills that I have tested out to date. All right, let's skip ahead to the big one, the DV36DA. This drill is pretty much just, a giant hammer drill. I do not like to use this drill for anything but just using, the hammer mode, because it is so big. There we go. Just tons and tons of power, but it does weigh a lot, and it's definitely a heavy drill to have. But if you pair it up with the more expensive multi-volt batteries, it does make it a more, costly to buy and maintain this type of drill, having to have the much larger batteries there. Finally, let's talk about the DV18DC. This is the all-new drill here from Metabo HPT, and if this thing came in at like $99, that'd be an awesome value here. I'm sure it'll go on sale here pretty soon, so that's not too much of a concern. But it's basically trying to ride that line between, the 18-volt tools and the 36-volt tools. Because it does feel very, very similar to its much larger brother, that multi-volt. You can hear the speed here. Definitely got a lot of speed to it. And of course, being able to use the 18-volt batteries, I think, is a huge advantage. I did an impact review not too long ago on some of these, and I definitely say the 18-volt impacts are a lot better than the 36-volt, because you can use a more compact option, or you can also use the multi-volt batteries. The 36-volt tools, you can only use the multi-volt batteries. So a little bit of a disadvantage there. So honestly, I think Metabo HPT did a great job with this new drill. Of course, there's going to be some kits coming out probably pretty soon with this thing. It's definitely, not like a super powerful hammer drill, not, a subcompact drill here, but it's one of those nice in-between type of drills. I would say it's very similar to like the Makita XPH, like 14, 16, around that range. It's kind of hitting their top of the line 18-volt stuff. Well, of course, Makita's got their XGT, Metabo HPT's got their multi-volt stuff. This is the real sweet spot to hit here with a lot of drills, because you can still use 18-volt batteries. You're not running around with a $100 plus battery. These batteries are pretty cheap, and of course, you can still use the multi-volt batteries if you really want to. So honestly, these type of drills are the best ones to use from Metabo HPT because they offer so much more versatility. Well, this thing is, yes, a little bit heavy. That's pretty much the only downside I have with this drill. I would like to have the light not be here and be here instead, because if you're looking around, it does blind you a little bit. And of course, you're looking at your battery lights here, your light is shining right into your eyes there. So between those two small complaints, I think it's a fantastic option from Metabo HPT. They did a great job on this drill. Of course, you got the metal chuck. Very easy to use here with the clutch. And, the clutches are clutches. They're kind of all the same on most drills here. I'm just not a fan of like the Makita has that electric clutch. I did a video on that one. Not a great option there. But if you guys want to check this thing out, I'll put a link to Amazon for this thing if you wanted to buy this. Fantastic new drill from Metabo HPT. It's really hard, nowadays with drills because they're getting so good now. And I mean, all four of these drills I tested out, they are all very similar, feeling when it comes to just doing regular screws. There's not a massive difference other than possibly the weight and size of these drills. So I like to say, have a drill like this if you want to do concrete once in a while, put in some concrete anchors, and then have a nice subcompact drill as your pretty much every single day drill. Could this drill be your everyday drill? Probably, unless you don't mind, having a bit extra weight. The smaller subcompacts from Metabo are very, very affordable. It's kind of hard to not have both drills really there. So good job at Metabo HPT. I definitely like this drill a lot. Does everything it needs to do without, being too crazy for what it is, not trying to go super powerful, super light. It's got a really durable feel to it, and I definitely did a great job, guys. So thanks for watching. Take care, and have a great day.